Bowling.
Chris Byer,
How are you,
morning,
bud?
CB.
We
Good.
are continuing our focus on colon awareness month, and we're going to talk about some options, right? Outside of the actual
Yes.
colonoscopy. We're not saying you shouldn't get a colonoscopy, but what can you do between the time that you get one and maybe the time that you've been advised by the physician to have another one? Or
Yeah.
what if you're pre-45 and this is a concern for you? You don't have enough um, history to try to get it before 45
Yes.
for free. So, we all see the Colon Guard commercials. They're on every single
Mhm.
night. Those are covered by your insurance. They are covered after the age of 45. They're about $750 ballpark.
Yes.
I think depending on your carrier, depending on your discounts, we see them as low as 650, as high
Yeah.
as $800. Still a great option. You
Yes.
and I started exploring some other options to see if there was something that was maybe lower cost, but yet had the same type of outcomes. And
Yeah.
you might
So I
came
mean,
up,
it's the at-home test concept where
yeah, yeah,
you don't have to go in for the full-blown colonoscopy, but it does test to see what you have going on within your bowels, which is good.
yeah. I was told come back in 10 years. I'm not waiting 10
Yeah.
years. I'll probably do
Yeah.
something every other year, maybe once out of 3 years. So, this is a great time to talk about this. So, what are your options, right? Colon Guard is
Yeah.
the most common, right?
Yeah, and I've seen a couple of situations with a few carriers where because of the expense of it, it's considered to be an out-of-network claim, depending on the carrier. So it's still something that has some discount coverage, but not every health plan is covering that as the preventative because they're expecting colonoscopy. I don't agree with that always
Right.
because it's certainly cheaper than a colonoscopy. But when we're looking from the financial perspective of the plan, we have some options where number one, the employer can work on the direct network like we've got with VIP, so the employees can go to the right provider and have a fixed cost for that colonoscopy. Because depending on where you have it done, it could be $1,200 up to $6,000 if you're having it done potentially in a hospital. So just starting with that standpoint of encouraging members to go through the best priced provider that we can help with. But then secondarily, we've seen the employer do the campaign where they're going to do
Yeah.
the mail at home test to all of those that are eligible. And it's between 40 and $50 probably per person to get done. And then you'll know if you have anyone that's on the verge or currently diagnosed, so then they can go in for the colonoscopy. But I think you've got something to share
I do.
as far as some pricing that for a sample company that the website that we're going to reference is coloncancerscreeningkit.com. So it is the lowest option that we've seen in terms of the at-home colon cancer screening test. Depending on, again, insurance, employer paid, it can be between 40 and 50 something dollars, depending on what you've got in place. And you can do it as an individual consumer as well.
Yeah, this is a good example. We had a large municipality that's about the same size do this last year, and these numbers are pretty accurate. We ended up getting 5 people tested positive. What I love about this company is if you do come back with a positive test, an actual
Yeah.
gastroenterologist will call you. So you're not getting a
Yeah.
call from,
Some
somebody,
random call center. Yeah.
hey, you tested positive. You'll actually get a call from a physician. And what's great is they'll ask you, where do you want to have your colonoscopy? That physician will now call where you want to go and get you right at the top of the list. So, yeah,
Yeah.
these are some
Don,
great
go
numbers.
ahead if you're sharing. I'm not seeing it yet.
Yeah, I'm sharing now. Maybe. Now,
There we go. All right.
there we go. So
Perfect.
this was a company that basically was looking at all the options available. The FIT test is really the test that we are talking about today through coloncancerscreeningkit.com. Roughly $50. They had only 7 people do that. They had 137 people go through, actually have a colonoscopy. 5 did colon guard. Make a long story short, 152 people out of 3,000 lives did it. Cost the organization about $300,000.
And back to what I was saying, the colonoscopy on average, because they were just using their traditional health plan network, was about 2,100. And
Yes.
then you mentioned Cologuard about $700 versus the fit test that we're showing at around 50. Similar concept, just much considered the generic version if you really
Yes.
look at it that way.
So what they did is they said, okay, we're going to go down to age 40, and we're going to send these kits out to anyone who's 40 and above for both the employee and the spouse. They had 155 people request the kit. 54 people actually had a colonoscopy, and it only cost about $81,000. So definitely a great way to screen that is that has a lower financial impact on the plan. They're saying that they avoided about $38,000 worth of cancer treatments. I don't know where they came up with that number, but I think, once again, if you're looking for a great benefit to your employee, that's not going to break the bank, this is a perfect example.
Well, and one of the things I like on the middle right is the sick days saved, because as you mentioned, when you go through colonoscopy, it's the whole day. You're out
the whole day.
So you really think about that. If you can have somebody do the at-home test and not have to miss a day of work, what that does for your organization on top of the lower cost. And then if there is a reason to go in, have the colonoscopy, do it through the direct network so that you're paying the lowest price as the health plan. It just makes sense. So again, in March, if you haven't yet and you're eligible, this is the time to get it scheduled. We'll also put the link up for the testing site if you just want to order that yourself. But again, as an employer, we can help put that campaign together to go ahead and get that sent out to everybody. Great topic, CB.
Yeah, I have one employer that actually ordered 50 kits. So HR has those kits, and when they're hiring somebody that's above the age of 40, they're like, hey, does this interest you?
Yep.
So
it's worth it. It's worth it. Absolutely.
You can really make this a great value add to your employees. So yeah, fun topic. Not everybody wants to talk about it, but we really should.
It's important.
All
Excellent.
right.
Thanks, CB.
All right,
Good to see you.